DVLA are a bunch of is a sentiment you'll hear at a lot of classic car shows. But in this case, they do actually seem to have softened their approach towards classics and particularly resto mods. Let me explain more. Before I get into what's actually changing, let me explain to you basically what the problem is at the moment. As it stands, there is no flexibility within DVLA rules for basically resto mods which have had lightly modified chassis and for EV conversions. And a very good example of how this has gone wrong is a chap called Ed Keane. Back in 2022, he built a 1960s Mini into an EV. It's his car. If he wants to ruin it, it's his choice. But unfortunately, DVLA got hold of the car or the information on the car and revoked his number plate on the basis that he drilled 2 holes from the boot where the battery box was into the passenger compartment to run the cables through, and they considered he'd modified the monocoque on that car and therefore was no longer entitled to the number plate, which does seem overly harsh even though it was an EV conversion. So they've got no flexibility within the rules, and it's all down to this point system, and the point system affects things like this kit car here when you come to register them and so on. And basically it covers 4 categories. It covers rebuilt cars, which is where you take a new body shell and replace the existing one like for like. There's kit built cars where you purchase a complete set of components, engines, running gears, chassis, the whole shebang from a supplier, and built a whole car with brand new parts. And then there's the kit modified section, which is where this falls into, where basically I took a Sierra, took it to bits, put it together in a kit and built a car. I got it IVA tested, and because I had sufficient points, and this is where the critical bit, the points are down to the chassis, which is 5 points, and then you've got axles, transmissions, steering, they're 2 points each, and the engine gets you 1 point. As long as you've got a certain number of points on a kit car, you can get an age-related plate. So this car hasn't got the original plate, but it has got one from the year of the Sierra. And it's that 5 points for the chassis or the monocoque, which is the problem. Because as soon as it's considered you've modified it, you lose that 5 points, and with it, the entitlement to retain the existing registration number. And the final class, which is where the changes are coming, is the rebuilt and radically altered vehicles class. And this is one where they suddenly seem to have fallen in love with resto mods. Now they're going to break this into 2 classes. One is repaired and restored. Now this is for cars which have been basically rebuilt as they were originally, very similar, if not identical to when they came out of the factory. And it's got external looks, mechanically it's the same. You don't need to tell DVLA, just carry on as you were. You retain your registration plate. I wonder if, do you remember that original Mini Cooper from Bangers and Cash that was dragged out of the garage? Which when we all saw it, we went, well, that's going to be a reshell. Well, they actually rebuilt that from that rotten shell and built it back up. I wonder if one of the reasons for that, so they could class it as sort of restored rather than replaced, and then there was no argument with DVLA. Don't know, but it's a bit of a question for me. So that's one class that they're getting introduced. The other class is now the modified vehicle class, and this is where the common sense seems to have come into place. That they are allowing for minor modifications to either the monocoque or the chassis. They're allowing modifications to the body. So if it's a big, if you've got a Metro City X and you make it look like a 6R4, that would come under this modified class. And also they're allowing for EVs in this category as well. So there was problems with some EVs losing registration numbers as well. So they've tidied that one up. I think the important thing is there is going to be a little bit of greyness in this, particularly with how much can you modify. So, if you're taking an MGF, cutting the body off and dropping like a Fiesta over the top, that is going to be a kit built car. You're not going to get away with that. I think where you're modifying the suspension mounting points and engine mounting points and maybe transmission tunnels, which has been done a lot with, old Mark 1, Mark 2 Escorts and stuff like that, I think that's going to be fine. On the V5, these vehicles are going to be marked as modified. and they will need an annual MOT, so you won't get to your 40 years and be MOT exempt. You will need to carry on MOT. I've seen no changes regarding the tax eligibility on those, so I'm assuming that come 40 years old they will be tax exempt as long as they have the original registration number, because you got the vehicle history with it. And the other thing is, older pre-2001 EV conversions can now apply to be in the EV tax bracket as well, which I'm not sure what that is at the moment. Personally, I think it should be about £2,000 a year, but hey ho. The other interesting thing, and this is almost DVLA putting their hands up to say, well, maybe we didn't get it quite right, is that if your car has been, in your belief, misclassified when it's been re-registered in the last few years, or has had the V5 changed in some way, you can reapply to have that changed back, and there is no time limit on that. Unfortunately for poor Ed and his Mini, it's a bit late. He unfortunately decided to scrap that in the end because the battle wasn't worth it. Presumably removed all the EV stuff and, you know, got rid of the shell, which is a bit sad because without a V5. But just to clarify, because I saw another video done on this and it was such poor information. It was suggesting that on a classic Mini, if you replaced the wing, you had to get DVLA down to certify it was an original wing. That's complete cobblers. If someone out there has got paperwork to prove they've had DVLA round to check that they've put an original wing on it, I would love to hear from you, but complete cobblers. The other thing is, this other video I saw, they were getting on the phone all excited to a customer saying, oh, we think they're going to get round re-registering kit cars, basically, because they had what appeared to be, I believe, a Suffolk SS100 Jaguar replica. Really nice car, well designed, one of the better kits. I imagine it was still registered as an XJS or an XJ6. They are not changing anything about that. He seemed to be under the impression that he was going to do a paperwork exercise and change it all. That's not the case. If you build, if you got a kit car that's wrongly registered, it will have to go through IVA to get properly registered. So that is real misinformation. I hope you find that useful. I think it's really good news that DVLA do actually seem to have listened, and particularly I would like to mention the Federation of British Historic and Vehicle Clubs and the Historic and Classic Vehicle Alliance, who worked really hard with the DVLA to make these changes in the rules. So big thumbs up to those organisations for making the effort to make this happen. As ever, I hope you've enjoyed that. A little bit informative, a bit different for me, and as ever, I'll catch you next time.